Hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing good. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll start the session for today. Let me share the screen. So I will start from where we have left, but yes, of course, we will have the quick recap what we have done last. All right, so I hope everyone can see the screen. Okay. All right, so last time, if I just scroll back to some of these slides, we will have the quick recap that we have done, right? So we have discussed about the deployment mode, right? What are the deployment options we have while deploying the Sophos XG firewall? All right. तो कौन-कौन से deployment option है, कौन-कौन से हम scenarios पे Sophos XG deploy कर सकते हैं? जो most common scenario है वो हमारा है gateway mode, right? कोई भी अगर अभी तक हमने जो Cisco का router जो configure किया है, right? So always we have configured in gateway mode. Yes, of course, we have also configured the router in bridge mode, and option might be available for mixed mode. Same चीज है हम Sophos XG firewall में भी deploy कर सकते हैं. All right. So जो हमारा gateway mode है, right? वो throughout the जो हमारा कोर्स होगा हम उस पे ही का ऑलमोस्ट वर्क करेंगे. So that would be in gateway mode. Firewall will be completely on gateway mode. Also we'll use bridge interface. We will use जो भी हमारे interface जो use में नहीं है, we will use those interface as a bridge mode, so that we can see how mixed mode can be deployed on Sophos XG firewall. So this would we are on this page right now, right? So जो हमारा last session था हमने बहुत कुछ हमने theory discuss किया था. Let's see. We will have one quick recap, and we'll go through some of the practicals. We'll see how it works. If anyone has any doubt, just stop me in between. I will be happy to just answer that. Let's begin with the next one. So let's have a quick recap. We have deployment options, right? So we have discussed about the gateway mode, where our firewall is in the gateway mode here, right? So port B is our WAN zone here in the gateway mode. Port A is our LAN zone. So we have C port as our DMZ zone. We have discussed about the gateway mode. We have discussed about the bridge mode, where Sophos Firewall would be in between your switch, L3 switch or L2 switch, and without replacing your existing firewall or router. So here the firewall will act as a bridge mode, and it will scan the traffic for any type of intrusion or advanced threat protection. It will bridge your LAN and DMZ zone with your existing firewall. All right. So yes, of course, it will support synchronized security. So we'll look into the synchronized security in upcoming modules in much more details. Simply, we will install Sophos and Intercept X and XG firewall and Sophos Central. With help of these three products, we will achieve what is synchronized security to protect our topology, network, or premises. All right. So we have discussed about the bridge mode. We have discussed about the application WAF, that is inbuilt feature of Sophos XG firewall. So you can, whether it is in gateway mode or whether it is in bridge mode, you can use this feature of WAF. Yes, of course, license would be required if you are protecting your web servers that to be protected from outside. So we will deploy this topology. Those who are already working, those who already have existing firewall and don't want to disturb any network schema, they can use the breach, and yes, of course, they can use the WAF feature to protect the internal web servers or application server from outside. So we have discussed about the web server, but yes, of course, in more detail, we will see in upcoming modules about WAF. It has dedicated modules for each of these sessions. So we have discover mode, where the firewall will act as port mirroring, where it is connected to a switch. Okay, so directly switch पे ही connected है firewall, और यहाँ पे सिर्फ हम कर रहे हैं port mirroring. We are not using the firewall as a breach or gateway mode. Port mirror करेंगे, alright, so that यहाँ का जो भी traffic होगा हमारा switch का, alright, a copy of that will be sent to the Sophos XG firewall for security audit purpose. Alright, so जो भी traffic आ रहा है, it will be get copied on the Sophos XG firewall, and it get used for auditing purpose. Right, so yes, of course, we will configure one of the port as discover mode. We will enable the ports on both the side, on the switch side, also from the firewall side, and we will get a copy. The traffic is whatever the traffic is parting in and out from the switch. It will generate the report what traffic it has been detected. Might this your existing firewall or router might not have the functionality to generate those reports. So the Sophos XG firewall will help us to get those audit reports, and then we can take the action accordingly. So that is the discovered mode we will use. So we will go with the gateway mode. So most deployment, and we will see the deployment and setup. So whenever you have the firewall, physical firewall, we have discussed that your first port is your LAN port, second port is your WAN port by default. जो आपके default ports होंगे जब भी firewall आपके पास, if you have new firewall, always consider the first port as a LAN port and the second port as the WAN port. Yes, of course, when once the initial setup is done, you can change, or you can use any of these port as per your wish. You can use first port as your WAN port or MPLS port, second port as your HA port or LAN port or WAN port, and whatever port that you have to define on your topology, you can define once the initial configuration has been done. But when the box is, when you get the new firewall, we have to always give the internet on port 2, so that the firewall can be registered, and the LAN port is to access the firewall. That is your LAN port. You can connect the laptop directly and configure before you move to the live connection. All right, so we have discussed about that in the last session. We have discussed about the SSH and console access of the Sophos Firewall. लैब पे तो जैसे ही कंसोल एक्सेस की जरूरत, कंसोल केबल का हमें जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा. Okay, so we have, if you look into the diagram, we have the console ports that can be connected to your PC that supports the console port, and you can have the console access. Okay, both are means of taking the access of your CLI. So जो हमारा firewall का CLI होगा, we will use both. In the lab, we have to just click on the firewall, we will get the console access. But in the real life scenarios, yes, of course, you need the console cable. अगर console cable आपके पास available नहीं है, all right, so you can look into that box which was जो आपने unbox किया था, right, उसी के साथ ही console cable तो आता ही है, all right. So what you can do, you can use that. If you don't find those console cables or necessary network tools, you might have to purchase it. Okay, so before you require the console access, make sure you have the tools that are required to access any of the device. All right, so you should always have the console access. In time of any calamities, disasters, we cannot go and find the console access, right, if it is not available. So as a network engineer, we should always have a good access to the device through console access, also via SSH. Okay, so SSH and console both access would be required. As an engineer, you should have access to all the device with the admin rights. you should have all the access on SSH and console, so that whenever you are moving from one device to another device, you required the access, right? So that then only you can perform some action like troubleshooting, or you can do some configuration changes and so on. So we will discuss about those good practices in more details in upcoming along with these modules. So we look into the command line interface on the labs. As I said, just click on the node. All right, that is on the firewall, and you will get the console access on the next tab. But the real life scenario would be different. So we will overcome this, so we don't have to struggle to get the access of the devices. All right. We look into the secure access of the SSH also. In upcoming slides, we have SSH, how we can administrate the Sophos XG firewall with secure connection. कौन से engineer को हमें SSH access देना है secure connection से. We will use public key authentication. So what is public key authentication? Live में देखेंगे तो idea आएगा. So we will use those features available on Sophos XG firewall. सारे network security device में feature होता ही, alright, but we will make most of the use of the security features available on the firewall. Alright, so have the console access. When you are accessing Sophos Firewall for very first time, the default username password is admin, and these credentials are changed as a part of initial setup wizard. So you will be asked to change the password when you are doing the initial setup wizard. So if you have gone through my previous video, yes, of course, you have noted that we have already completed the initial setup wizard, that is deploying Sophos Firewall, right? So what we have did last time, we have deployed the firewall, we have registered the firewall, right? We have changed the password and so on. So we will do that again. I will show you that part, those who have missed. So we will walk through the CLI. We will see if you are not getting, what are the default port rate, okay, when you have physical firewall and you are trying to access the CLI, right? So this would be, if you look into the last paragraph, you will find the parameters for the console that you have to set it up to get the console access. So the baud rate, whenever you are accessing Sophos XG firewall with the console cable, not with the SSH, all right, we have to take the access. We should have access via SSH, web admin, and console. So currently, let's talk about the console, which is done with the help of console cable. The settings, the parameters, the baud rate should be 38400. That should the speed. So you should set on the put. I will show you that setting. Yeah, those who are not aware, but those who are aware, yes, of course, they will set it 38400. Data bit, they can set it to 8, stop bit to 1, and priority, they can set it to none or 0. All right, so this will help you to get the console, right? Console access of the firewall. All right, so when you use the console access, when what happened if we don't have the console access? All right, so let's say if you are failed to arrange a cable or the device with support consoles, console port, all right, you might not get the console access via the console serial cable. All right, let's say you are working on, you are getting the console access via SSH, that is fine, but few days you lose the access of the firewall due to, let's say, hardware failure. So you will not able to take the SSH access, right? So in this case, the console cable will help you to get the CLI access of the firewall. Yeah. At that time, yes, of course, a physical connectivity will be required. So with the console cable, we will see what are the different type of console cable are available in the market for different type of security devices. That is not a part of these courses, of course, but to discuss at the time of any disasters, or when you're doing some troubleshoot to fix the issue, you might require the access of the device on which you are working on. If you don't have the access of the device properly, you might not able to fix and may cause issues. So we will work on this. We will see, we will make sure that console access is always available via the console serial cable as well as from SSH on the firewalls. In case of any issue, again, if you lose the access of the firewall, we can get it back. So yes, of course, if you are working with the physical firewalls, yes, you will get the console cable along with the box. Not only for Sophos Firewall, yes, any type of network security devices, the cable comes along with the box. So with the Sophos Firewall, it is provided, so you don't have to worry about that. We have discussed about the initial setup wizard in the last session. So when you plug the firewall port A and a laptop, it will automatically get the IP address from the DHCP server already running on the Sophos XG firewall. All right. So once you get the IP address, you can go to CMD command on the same laptop. Yes, of course, you can type IP config/all. You will get the details, the IP that has been allocated to the laptop. In case you don't find, you can statically put it. So that is a part of troubleshoot. But yes, of course, in case you didn't receive the IP address from the firewall, you can statically apply 172.16.16, let's say 100 or whatever you want to put the IP, the number in the end. But gateway should be 172.16.16.16. That is the default IP address of the Sophos XG firewalls. Okay, any of the firewall, if you want to access for a very first time, if you're accessing, the default IP is that. If that is for the new device, if let's say the firewall is already being deployed, but you don't know the IP address of the firewall, you can, yes, of course, go to the console access again, right? You don't know, right? You don't know the IP address. Not with the help of SSH, you can go to the console and you can find out the IP address that is configured. Okay, I will show you later and after some slides how whatever we have discussed till now. So yes, of course, let's say if you receive the IP address, you will note that you have received some 172.16.16.17. Subnet mask would be /24, that is 255.255.255.0, and the gateway IP you have received might be 172.16.16.16. Okay, that is for sure. All right, so once you get the IP address on the laptop, you can ping to 172.16.16.16. If you receive the ping, that means the firewall is reachable. Then you can do a telnet on port 4444. If you are in, that means the GUI is ready. So this way you can verify whether the firewall is ready for next step for the initial setup wizard. Or if you have already set up the firewall, and if you, let's say, rebooted the firewall, or the firewall was shut down due to power failure and come up, you can check with the ping connectivity and telnet. If the ping is working, do telnet. That means the firewall is up and running. So we'll see that in working. So you have to go to the browser, yes, of course, and you have to type HTTPS and the device IP that you have set, and 4444. That is the port number on which the firewall GUI listens. So that is the GUI of the firewall. All right. So device IP means if you have configured the any IP from the console, or you can use the default IP, that is HTTPS 172.16.16.4444, and you will get the page. All right, so we already walked through this initial setup wizard, where we have first enter. The next page was to just tick mark and set up the wizard, and next step was to set up the admin password, and we have click on continue. Then we have next page was to set up the internet connection. So if you already getting the if you have connected the internet connection from your upstream router and it has the DHCP running, then automatically Sophos Firewall will get the IP address from that router for the internet access. If your router is not set up with the DHCP, you can manually configure the settings here. You have to select the port B, that is for our internet access. Interface type would be static IP address and dynamic type there. You have to select static IP if you are doing static, if the DHCP is not available on upstream router. Put the free IP and subnet mask that is configured on your ISP router. You can give the name of the router and the DNS and gateway. All right, and click on apply. and you will see the green marks there. If everything is green, then that means the gateway means your upstream route is reachable, the DNS is reachable, and the IP address is reachable, and you are good to go to configure the next step. All right. You can skip also, no worries. You can configure the IP internet on a firewall later on, but it will not register the device, and you might face some routing issues. So better to register the device. All right. So yeah. All right, so we will talk about the firmware. So once you configure the internet, the next page is to configure name and time zone. We have configured the name and the time zone. So we have given the name of the firewall and we have selected the region, automatically took the IP, and we have clicked on continue. Then we have moved to another page called register your firewall, where we have selected the new option. All right, the second option, that I don't have a serial number, the second one. All right, and start a trial. We will be using trial versions on this lab. Throughout the lab, we will be using trial version only, but it will give you the same functionality which you will purchase after the license. So those who are willing to purchase license, we will talk about the license. It is not part of the module, yes, of course, but definitely we got the queries. So we will discuss about what type of license available for 1 year, 2 year, and what type of bundle you should buy. Let's say if you don't want to protect your web server instance, let's say you don't have to purchase the license. If you want to use SD-WAN, you can purchase the license. If you want to scan the virus for web traffic, yes, of course, you have to purchase the license. So if you, in case if you are not using Sophos Firewall as a WAF, then it's fine. You don't have to purchase the license. All right. So throughout the course, yes, of course, we will use all the features one by one, as all the license would be available. So we can test it, and then we can deploy it, and we can go live. And then on the next page, we have defined the mode for the firewall as a gateway mode, the IP address. All right, that is already comes with the firewall. If you want to change the network here, you can change it. If you don't want to run DHCP, you can untick mark the DHCP and change the network, or you can keep the default and just click on next. Later on, yes, of course, you can change the same LAN network as per your requirement and choice. Everything is you can edit it and save it. If new requirements come, if you need to change the network or subnet mask, that can be done after the initial, after registering your Sophos Firewall. All right, so you can first follow these steps, and then you can configure the firewall once you get the access. Right, so access is most important. All right, so next will come the network protection. So you can tick mark those features. So we'll discuss about the features which you see while doing the initial setups. So just by default, it is untick mark. All right, so don't worry about the tick mark on this slide, but when you will do the when you register the firewall in the lab also, or also in the real life scenario, if you are deploying new firewall, okay, by default it would be unticked, so you don't have to worry about. But we will discuss about each and every parameters here, that is in the sixth module. Everything is available, so whether you configure now or later, it doesn't make any difference. So better to make the configuration after you register the firewall for the initial setup visa. All right, next page will we have discussed about the notification and backup, where we have set the email address, an encryption password, and click on continue. We have set the secure storage master. All right, this is used to let's say if you're restoring the backup at that time, yes, of course, for security purpose, we are setting the master's storage secure master key, where we have to use while restoring the backup or taking the backup. All right, so you can use this. We will discuss about the secure storage master, what would be the challenges if you forgot it, what if you want to change it. Okay, we'll change it right away, but let's say if you forgot it, what we have to do next, we'll see that. So if you want to change it, yes, of course, you can go to console. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था console access चाहिए होगा हमें, तो console access, we'll take the console access and we'll reset with the option number 5. Okay, so you have to go to, first you have to go to option number 2. then you do select option number 5 from system settings. All right, you can see system settings here. That system settings comes with the 7 options. First, when you get the console access, once you put the admin user password, you will get the option 7 options. You have to select second option for system settings, and then you can see option number 5, reset secure storage master key. So those who are already working with Sophos Firewall and they don't know what is the secure storage master key, I would recommend to reset the key so that you don't face any issue. All right, so you will have your secure backup. All right, so those who have any doubt till now, just raise your hands. Ritesh, do you have any doubt? Give a moment. Hello, Ritesh. Yeah. Okay, no worries. Okay, those who have just raised your hand, I will come back to you. All right, just raise your hands and I will ask. Let me continue then. Okay. Then we have discussed about we have discussed about the navigation and management. तो हमारे जितने भी options होंगे configuration के, all right. So we should know where we can configure IPsec VPN, where we can configure interface, where we have to configure the zones. So throughout this course, once we configure everything, we will know where rules and policies are configured, where our net rules are configured, where our TLS rules are configured, all right, where we have VPN setup, where we have SDWAN setups, where the host and services are created, where our system services are running, where do we have HA configuration, authentication server are integrated, and many much more. Right. So these are the examples. We have a lot of things to discuss in each and every module. All right. So we have access to the firewall. Once we register the firewall, we have the control center. That is, let's say, that is the dashboard, which will give you the insight of the traffic, what is going on the network, right? So you will see on the dashboard, you will see many sections like system details, whether the services are running, whether the interfaces are running properly or not, whether VPN services or VPN are running or not. All right, we will see on the system. We have read their remote Ethernet devices, where remote internet devices. If you have these are the particular, we will discuss about what are red devices. They are small devices, all right, which is used at the branch office. So we will discuss about what are the different models are available. Like we have Sophos Firewall models. Similarly, we have red models. We have switch models. So similarly, we have red models to connect your branch office towards your head office. So if let's say you have multiple branch office, so the count will show here whether which branch, how many branches are connected with the red. If any of the branches is not connected, disconnected, or you will get the alerts and reports and the number counts here. Similarly with the APs also. So if you have Sophos APs, we will discuss about Sophos AP models, what type of APs you can use in your organization. If you have small scale organization, or if you have large scale or medium scale organization, which type of AP and red you can use. And here you can use Sophos Firewall as a controller, wireless controller as well, where you can configure wireless AP from Sophos Sophos, and you can manage it through Sophos XG Firewall. Not only the Sophos XG Firewall, you can also manage from Sophos Central. So we will use Sophos XG as a controller here in our course. Throughout the course we'll use. So it will we can push the configuration on the APs, and we can make wireless network, and we can of course we will secure those wireless networks. So here also you will find how many API are connected, how many got disconnected, all the alerts you will get it from the control center dashboard. So we can investigate the issue. We have live users, we have concurrent remote users. If the user is connected from outside, that will be shown here, the count and the live users. If you click on any of this blue count, it will redirect to your settings. Okay, it will redirect to some of the settings where you can check the status. So we'll see from the firewall, this is only the snapshot available. So this is the first page which will once you log into the Sophos Firewall, what action you can take immediately after looking into the controls center. So this will help you to take the immediate action in case of any security has been breached, or if you see any type of connectivity is getting failed, or user is not connecting, and so on. We have other information like CPU usage, memory usage, all right, all the details here. But if you want more insight, we can click that and we can get more details. We will go to the firewall and we'll see that in more details. If you have configured high availability, okay, HA. So those who are not aware about the HA, for them, HA, let's say we have another device which standbys in case of any hardware failure or any type of link failure. So we will configure our active and active passive. So this feature is also available as compared to rest of the vendors. We have active to load balance the traffic between the firewalls, or you can use the firewall active passive as a standby, and you can, in case of any failover, it will do the failover as on the HA. Right, so you don't have the downtime there. You have the zero downtime on the network. All right, so we'll discuss about the HA. We will manage all the firewalls through Sophos Central. We will access the firewall from outside. We will push the configuration from Sophos Central and use the features available for the backup and restoration process and firmware upgrade. So we'll discuss about a different type of firmware as well on this module. All right, so this will give you the insight. It has much more to discuss. So this will be the first page we have discussed. For the control session, control center, we have multiple areas that are mainly divided into 6 areas that we have discussed last, right? So one is system, which shows the health of the firewall and services. Each of these items, yes, you can click, you will get the more detailed information. You will get the traffic insight that provides at a glance overview what is happening to the network and the traffic being processed. You will get user and device insight for the status of the users and the device that being protected by Sophos Firewall. So yes, of course, this session will include the user threat quota, which help you for the risk management of the user based on their behavior. All right, so we discussed about the main menu in the last session, why this one is important. So when you are managing the firewall, all right, when you log in the first time or whenever you log in, you should be aware which part we have to first look up. All right, so let's say in case of troubleshoot, you can first go to monitor and analyze, right? So we'll see what are the options available. But we have control center, which we saw the first time. We will see the current activities, what are the live current activities are going on the firewall. That will be seen under live current activities. Let's say how many live users are connected, how many users are connected, how many applications are being connected, how many remote users are connected there. We will see all the data. What are the IPsec connectivities are currently working there. All right, so we'll see that. We'll look into the reports. All right, so what are the reports available on the firewall? We'll see the zero-day protection. We will see all the reports regarding the file that being scanned, the status of those file, and we can also take the action for those file which was downloaded. If some file has been detected as suspicious or malware, we will take the action accordingly. Then we have diagnostics, where we have some tools to ping, trace route. All right, we have multiple options that we can check while doing some connectivity, test connectivity, troubleshooting, which we'll see packet captures and so on. So today we will see that part, packet capture as well. We will secure fast connection today. Then we have protect. So we should be aware where we have to configure the firewall rules. That would be under rules and policies. So if I say where we can configure net rules, that would be under rules and policies. All right, so we'll discuss about that. We'll discuss about intrusion prevention. We'll apply the default policies and we'll see what type of traffic being detected and get what action has been taken by the intrusion prevention policies. Similarly, we have WEF, right? You can configure web traffic, that is your browser traffic. You can scan your browser traffic in case of any virus or malware. So we'll see how HTTPS decryption works here. Okay, it's quite simple. We'll see that. What are the challenges will come, what step we have to take to fix those issues within no time. All right. Then in the web, we'll see, suppose we'll create our own policies, web filter policy. We will apply, we will block YouTube, allow Facebook. Okay, let's say we will block EXEs and so on. We will do same thing with the application. We will block some proxy applications like Thor application. All right, we will block all the proxies which are not needed. We will yes, if you want to use Sophos Firewall as a controller, as I said, that settings are available under protect. We will configure email protection. So we will see what is the MTM mode and the legacy mode. We will protect the web server under web server. All right. So if you are no, if we have already done the port forwarding and the pad forwarding, right? Port address translation, net address translation. So with the WEF and you can do with the help of DNet here. So if you if we have traditional routers, we do port forwarding. Here we will call DNet. So we'll do the port forwarding. We will access those ports from outside with the help of rules and net policies here. If we have web server, if you don't have the if you have the web server and don't have the web license, still you can access your the server from outside with help of rules. So we'll configure those rules and net rules to access your server from outside. But if you have if you want to protect it from any type of attack which works on HTTP or HTTPS, we will use WEF here. So that is web server here. Okay, we will enable the advanced features that is available on the firewall. We will log and report those threats and we'll take the action accordingly. We have central synchronization. So we will integrate the firewall with the cloud so that we can access the firewall from outside securely without enabling the WAN zone, all right, which is not secure, or without ACL rules. So we can manage it from the cloud, and that would be free. You don't have to purchase the license. If you are already working with the Sophos XZ Firewall, you don't have to purchase the license for Sophos Central to manage the Sophos Firewall. All right, so you can use this as an advantage. So next is our networking part, the connectivity part that will be covering up on the configure. So in our lab, we will configure IPsec failover. We will test it. We will configure site-to-sites, IPsec VPN, and the failover. We will also use, if we have Sophos XZ Firewall on our head office and the branch office, in that case, we will use SSL site-to-site connection. I will show you those settings, so you don't have to worry. As you move to the modules, your doubt would be much more clear. You might have a lot of doubts while I speak. So once we move the module and the day one by day, your old doubts will be clear, as we will do this configuration on the lab also. We'll see the testing. So we will configure the IPsec failover. The options available here, let's say if you have multiple vendors, let's say other office has the third party router or the firewall, let's say you have Sonic Wall, Palo Alto, or any firewall with support IPsec, we will connect that branch to our branch with help of IPsec VPN. But if we have Sophos XG in both the location, we can also use SSL side-to-side options available on the Sophos XG Firewall. We will see the failover so that we don't have zero downtime. Failover we will do with help of two ISPs. So if one ISP fails, the traffic will move from the other ISPs, and if that ISP comes up, then traffic will move to the first ISP, or we will keep the settings as per the requirement depending upon the topology. So we'll see everything how we can achieve those things. We will configure MPLS connectivity. So we will have one MPLS connection and one IPsec connection. So if let's say if the MPLS getting failed, we will move the traffic automatically will move to the IPsec VPN, all right, for your branch office. So this way we'll have zero downtime for this. So we will use SD-WAN. So we'll use SD-WAN technology on Sophos Firewall. We do have the license, so we will first deploy it, we will test it, and then we will go live in our production environment. Right, we will first test it and then we'll go ahead. So this is the connectivity that we will do under a VPN. We will connect the remote user, particular users from outside to access the web servers from outside under VPN. We will use what is IPsec VPN for remote user, remote access, and the SSL for remote user for accessing particular resources. So what would be the difference? We will configure both and we will see which one is more feasible for us to configure, which we will use it, all right? Whether we will use the policy-based routing, whether we will use route-based routing, that we will decide. We will configure, we will test it, and we will see which one of these are meeting our requirement. Then we will deploy it in the production environment. All right. So in future, let's say if you are handing over to some other users or the engineer, he might not face any issue, right? So you have the very good configuration there. Okay. Then we have network. We'll configure the interface, the zones. What are zones? So we have WAN zone, LAN zone, Wi-Fi zone, printer zone. We will configure different type of zone. That zone we will use in the different interface available on the firewall. So we will, on the lab, we will have two WAN zones. That is for two internet, three internet connection, two MPLS zone. That would be your MPLS connection. You will have LAN zone. You will have lag, you have bridge mode, all right? So you don't have to worry, but once we will do that, you will get more idea to configure and to meet those requirements, and you will know about those technology in much more detail when you implement after this course. All right, so we'll discuss once, let's say we will we set up the IPsec connection, we will also discuss the key technology that is taking part in the VPN session. All right, so we'll see that. We will authenticate the users with the help of captive portal. So today we will do captive portal also. We will authenticate the users to have access to the resources. All right. We have system services. So we look into where we can configure HA. What are those? Yes, Ketan, do you have any doubt?
No, sir. It's by mistake.
Okay. All right, so next would be your system services that we have discussed. We will configure the HA here and we'll test it. We'll fail over those HA and we'll see whether we have how many drops we have. All right. So when we do fail over, the minimal of 4 to 5 packet will get dropped. That means you don't have the downtime. All right. So 2-3 packet is fine if it is getting dropped, but we will have the full connectivity. All right. So moving to next. So the last part was the system where we will configure the profiles, device settings, the objects, and the profile that are being used in the roles and the policies. All right. So this was the quick review of whatever we have discussed in the last session. All right. So once you click on protection web or any on the module, you will get the tab navigation. All right, so we will discuss each and every tab that options available on the Sophos Firewall. So you can see the policies. All right, well, you will see surfing quota status, user activities, categories, URL, exceptions, general settings, file types, surfing quota, and we have much more that is available once you click here. All right, so we'll see that. So we will go through each and every tab so that you know which part of the settings you have to look while you are doing the first time configuration, or you are troubleshooting the issue, all right, or you are deploying new setting, new requirement on your topology. Let's say we have user activities. What are categories here? Okay, what are categories? What are URL groups? What are exceptions here? What is general settings? So we'll discuss each and every tabs in upcoming 6th module that we have in depth. Each of these modules, you can say, are being detailed. I have detail we will discuss it. All right, so let's say general settings are the global settings, all right, of this web protection. Exceptions are, let's say you are scanning the traffic. Okay, you are scanning HTTPS traffic. Most of the websites works on same protocol, right, on 443. So let's say if you want to bypass, how we can do it under exceptions. What are URL groups? How we can collect some URLs and bypass on the category. You can see this is the default policy of web protection, comes with the Sophos Firewall. So you can bypass the URL groups, or you can block it, or you can allow it as per your choice. All right. So we'll see the categories. What are the categories available on the firewall, and what are the user activities defined on Sophos Firewall? Which user activities you can define and you can take the action. So you just have to apply it and take the action. You can see the action here, right? We'll apply the constraints also. Let's say you want to allow some particular website at a particular interval of time. So we'll use the profiles. All right. So profiles, objects that will help us to configure our requirements. All right. So we'll see that. So tab navigations, each session is accessible from the main menu, is further broken down into tabs for accessing each area of the configuration. Some on same screen, additional or less frequently used tab can be accessed using Eclipse on the right hand side of the tab. So once you get that Eclipse, you can click and you can see what other the options available. All right. Now on the firewall, you have advanced settings here. Okay, advanced settings, you can see. So where are those advanced settings are available, where we can use it? So you can during the troubleshoot, you can find it to troubleshoot the issue. Let's say under VPN, you have show VPN settings. All right. So right now, I think this has been moved here. This is the firmware version will depend now. So I will discuss about the 17 version, what is version 8, 17, 18 and 19, what are the differences on those versions. So, but yes, of course, you have to look into the additional settings on the firewall for reports and VPN. All right, so only for reports and VPNs, you will find the additional settings. They will be look like show VPN settings. So you will able to, it will flip the page and you will see the setting. All right, on the lab, we will go through one by one. So you will understand, we will configure it, we will check it in each and every model, then you will get what is the most of the use of these settings. All right, you can see so additional properties. So this is also option when you are doing some troubleshooting. Let's say those who are new, don't worry, but those who are already working, let's say if you want to see what configuration has been done on this tunnel, this is the IPsec internal example. If you click, you will get the details like which IPsec VPN policies configured, what are the remote and local subnet are configured, what are the preset configured, what are the local subnets are configured, remote subnets, remote gateway is configured, and so on. What are the settings that has been done? But here we cannot find it. Without clicking, without opening the firewall, how can we use these low additional properties? We will see that. So these are the additional hidden settings that we'll also go through one by one, so that whenever you are managing the firewall, you know which part you have to look on to may to configure or may to troubleshoot and fix the issue. Right? Let's say the tunnel is not coming up in this case. All right, we have a lot of things. So next would be in the report and VPN session. So there are 2 sessions again, and modules also. Yes, of course. The 4th module was the VPN, and I think 10th was the logging and reporting, right? So that module, each part has this in much more in detail. So in the report session, also in the VPN session, there are additional report settings are there, and show VPN settings options are there that will allow you to access some or less often used options related to reports and VPNs. So let's say again, settings. Let's say if you click on show report settings on the firewall, so you will get what are other options available for the report session. So you can set some, let's say you want to schedule report, you want this report, you have looked some report, okay, and you like that report, that okay, I need this report every day or every week. So you can schedule on your email. If you have multiple email, then you can schedule on multiple email, you can schedule it and so on. So that type of settings you can do on the report settings tab. Okay. Similarly, show VPN settings. If you want to see your VPN settings there, if you want to make a change, or let's say in real life scenarios, if you want to put some DDNS updation there, all right, to access the VPN remote gateway, then you can use those settings here. So we'll see that. Then only you will get much more idea. So when I will do the practical, I will remind about this session that I have discussed, and this is what I am showing you right away. So when we will use this, we will see this. So when the settings are accessed, the screen will flip. So whenever you click this, it will be from blue to yellow, and it will flip the screen, and you will get those options. So you can identify when you are on the screen by the yellow title bar or on the top page. All right. So on the right hand side, you will find the admin options. You will get support, the product which you are working on, about the product. All right. Let's say if you're working on the physical hardware device, you will get the details here. If you want console access from on the GUI, yes, of course, you can get the console access once you click here, you will get the access. Better to have the separate console access with the physical connection, which we have discussed, all right, today in this session. If you want to reboot the device, if you want to shut down the device, you can use this option. If you want to log out, log the device, you can use the options available. Clearly, you can see what options and the action they will do. All right, so found on the top right in the admin menu, there are reboot, shutdown, log, and logout options on the Sophos Firewall. This menu also provides link to support website and the Sophos Firewall licensing page and the web-based access console. So yes, you will get the support. Once you click on support, you will go to support.sophos.com, where you find all the necessary articles, the issues that comes up, people post it, all right, and they get resolved. You will see everything on the support page, and you can get the administrative help as well. So we'll see that. Yeah, so it's here. So once you click on help on the firewall, all right, all the security device have the help session. Similarly, Sophos Firewall also has the similar help session. Once you click on help, it will redirect to docs.sophos.com. So it will have all the modules and options that you will go through. It will have all the options available here. All right, so you can go through this and you get the more details. Let's say if you want to create a web filter policy, so you can click on add a policy on the web. So you'll get the steps how you can configure the web filter policy. All right, so how we can configure, how you get the assistant for doing the configuration. You can get the steps from here. If you, let's say, if you want to just recall you already know the steps, but let's say you can recall it, or you can, if some document has some notes, okay, so we have to take care of these notes and we can configure accordingly. All right, so we'll see that. Let's say for Yahoo search, select as HTTPS connection. All right, so if you want to, yes, if you want to enable safe search, all right, when user is accessing Google, Yahoo, or any search engine, and if the user is typing some inappropriate words, that we have to scan it or block it by the firewall. Okay, so what steps we have to take during the creation of the web filter policy, that has been mentioned under the description, let's say. All right, so we'll do on the lab, which is quite easy, though you don't have to follow the documents, but yes, of course, in future, you can use this for help purpose. So found on every session of the Sophos Firewall in a context sensitive link or with the online help. When clicked, it opened a separate windows, and online version of help is fully interactive and can be browsed by selecting the various menu items and left-hand side menu. So if you can search for keywords, and when search result is selected, it will load the appropriate action within the helpline. All right. So that would be the help. Now on the web admin, you have log viewer. So we will see all the logs on the Sophos Firewall, live logs, what is जो हम लैप करेंगे, ऑलराइट, whether it is working or not working. हम दोनों पे देखेंगे ट्रैफिक कैसे यहाँ पे फ्लो हो रहा है, ऑलराइट. सो हाउ logs are getting logged under logged viewer. We will also see TCP dump on CLI. We also see the TCP dumps on packet capture to check how the traffic flows. All right, and this will help us in future to fix the issues. All right, and we'll see how ingrays, outgrays work. How fast plus slow path and fast path, definitely we will go with the architecture later on. That is not part of this module, but definitely will cover so you understand the traffic flow on the firewall to fix any issue that comes in future while managing the Sophos XG firewall. So next, to help link in the log viewer, which opens in the new window to provide access to all log files. In the log viewer, you can filter logs and perform context sensitive actions. So we will explore this in more details throughout this course. All right, so yes, of course, Sophos provides the video library, so you can search the configuration on the video format, and you can configure, let's say, if you want to connect the head office and branch office, and if for that we use IPsec VPN. Search, you can get help from the library here, and you can follow the same steps to accomplish the task. All right, so they provides us the guides. The last item in the top right is how to guides. This link gives you the library of videos on your the website that demonstrate how to perform the common task on the Sophos XG firewall. All right, so you'll get all the basic common tasks that you need to perform on the Sophos firewall with help of the videos. All right, now that was the quick review till now. All right, so now we will moving ahead with the another topic, that is objects. So those who are already working with the firewalls, not only the Sophos firewall, but any of the firewalls or routers, they might have created the object. All right. Those who have not created the object till now, or they are new to, no worries. We will start with the objects in our lab. We'll start with the objects only. So we'll see how those objects can be used. Okay, so they are generally, let's say, if you are doing IPsec configuration and there are the hosts or the networks that you have to communicate. All right, so source network and the destination network we will create with the help of objects. Let's say you want to allow only voice traffic, or you want to allow only the RDP traffic or ping traffic, SSH traffic. Some of the objects that are called service objects, which are already available on the firewall, you can directly use it. If those services are not available, we will create those service objects and will use in our configuration, all right, mostly in the firewall rules and rest of the modules. So what are objects here? So in terms of theory, the objects are the building blocks for the rules and policies. So we'll use those objects in our rules and policies. So we'll define host. All right, we'll define host. Let's say we have one system, IP is 172.16.16.100. So we'll create that particular host. All right, we can use those objects under rules and policy. Similarly, we can create network objects. So we'll make sure. So in the firewall, whenever we are creating that network host, we have to select appropriate type. So we'll discuss the pop-up that comes while creating the objects on the firewall. Similarly, we have service. We can create services. Service, let's say HTTP, HTTPS, okay, SMTP, SMTPS. Those are the services running to provide the application services, right? So we can create those objects and we can apply on the particular rule and policies. So only those particular services will be allowed and rest of the service will get blocked. All right, so we'll use this, we'll use groups. So we'll group the host, networks and services. All right, let's say if you have voice server in-house, all right, those who are having the voice server in-house, we will create the service group there. All right, so we have service, particular service and service group. So we'll create all the services, all the ports actually. Let's say SIPs works on 5060, okay, it works on some port. So all the necessary ports which are required to communication between your SIP server and SIP phones, we'll create those services group and we'll use on the firewall rules and policies, right, and profiles. So we will discuss about profiles in upcoming slides. So it can be created inline when configuring the rule policies. So you can create these objects and you can use on the rules and policies. The Sophos firewalls use objects, yes. If you work with multiple firewalls, the same way the objects are used in Sophos XG firewall as they are building blocks for the configurations for rules and policies. So they by defining reusable objects, once for the things such as host, service, and network, it can speed up the configuration and simplify future changes by having a single place of making changes. तो objects का use कहाँ पे रहेगा? Okay, जब आप object create करेंगे, alright, let's say आपको IPsec में भी use करना है और MPLS में भी use करना है. Okay, तो आप सिर्फ आपको name से you have to just type the name and you will get that object and you can use it. You can reuse those objects. कहीं पे भी आप अगर future में requirement आती है तो आप उसको यूज कर सकते हैं. आपको वहाँ पे डिफाइन करने की जरूरत नहीं क्योंकि आपने ऑलरेडी डिफाइन किया हुआ है. ऑलराइट, सो ये क्या करेगा, ये आपको हेल्प करेगा just to speed up the configuration as much as it can. जितना well objects define किया होगा as per your topology, तो आपके टोपोलॉजी के हिसाब से आपको पता होगा कौन सा नेटवर्क है, कौन कौन से होस्ट है. सो यू कैन क्रिएट दोज नेटवर्क होस्ट एंड सर्विसेज विच विल बी यूज ऑन योर टोपोलॉजी और उसको यूज कर सकते हैं और उसको रीयूज भी कर सकते हैं. ओके, और लेट्स से आपने वो सिमिलर ऑब्जेक्ट्स आपने अप्लाई किया हुआ है और फ्यूचर में आपको चेंज करना है, तो आप ऑब्जेक्ट्स में ही जाके चेंज करोगे तो फायरवॉल रूल्स में ऑटोमेटिकली वो अपडेट हो जाएगा all right, and we can use those as the object.
Hello.
Yes, Ritesh.
So just a minute.
Ritesh, just give me a moment.
Sir, can you speak in Hindi, sir?
Okay, yeah, I will try my
Okay.
best.
If everybody is not to Hindi, so can you speak to Hindi?
Okay, yes, sure. This batch is in Hindi only, but as it is a one demo session, so that's the reason I'm going with the English. But yes, of course, that would be, I will add some Hindi, okay, so you will understand more in detail, okay? So objects.
Okay, okay. Because the Hindi is better for me. I'm just telling you.
नो वरीज, जो हमारा बैच होगा, ठीक है, वो कम्प्लीटली हिंदी में होगा, बट जैसे कि हम यहाँ पे ऑब्जेक्ट्स क्रिएट करेंगे, ऑलराइट, सो ऑब्जेक्ट्स के बारे में हम यहाँ पे डिस्कस कर रहे हैं। तो ऑब्जेक्ट्स क्या होगा यहाँ पे, हमारे होस्ट और सर्विसेज, ऑलराइट, सो सर्विसेज हमारा जो पोर्ट होगा, पोर्ट and the networks, all right, that we will create with help of objects. Okay, I will try my best for this session. I will try as much as I can, but जो बैच हमारा होगा वो completely हम हिंदी में ही डिस्कशन करेंगे। जितना भी डिस्कशन होगा हम हिंदी पे करने वाले हैं, so आपको आइडिया आएगा, all right. Yeah. So नेक्स्ट वुड बी लाइक, या सो अगर कोई फ्यूचर में हम चेंज कर रहे हैं, तो अगर एक जगह पे हमने ऑब्जेक्ट पे चेंज किया, लेट्स से कोई नेटवर्क हमें अपडेट करना है, ऑलराइट, आज हमने कोई 172 अपडेट एक ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट किया है, जो हमारा वहाँ पे एक नेटवर्क का ऑब्जेक्ट है 172.16.16.0/24। अगर फ्यूचर में हमें वो अपडेट करना है और हमने ऑलरेडी फायरवॉल रूल्स पे अप्लाई किया हुआ है, तो हमें ऑब्जेक्ट्स पे हम अपडेट करेंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली फायरवॉल रूल्स पे भी अपडेट हो जाएंगे। सो दैट इज द यूज ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट्स व्हाइल यूजिंग इन द फायरवॉल, ऑलराइट। सो या just anyone. Now yes, object can be created and edited ahead of time, so आप ऑब्जेक्ट्स क्रिएट कर सकते हो और एडिट कर सकते हो एज पर द टाइम, एंड दे कैन आल्सो बी यूज इन लाइन व्हेन कॉन्फ़िगरिंग द प्रोटेक्शन फीचर्स। सो अगर आप फ्यूचर में एडिट भी कर सकते हो, यस ऑफ कोर्स, टाइम के हिसाब से। अगर कोई रिक्वायरमेंट रहता है तो वो फायरवॉल रूल्स पे जहाँ पे ऑब्जेक्ट्स ऑलरेडी क्रिएटेड है, अप्लाइड है, या फिर वहाँ पे भी चेंज करना है, तो वहाँ से भी आप चेंज कर सकते हो। So this we will see in action in more detail in lab पे और आइडिया आएगा जो हम अभी थियरी go through कर रहे हैं। So this means that you do not have to navigate away from what you are configuring to create the objects. You will also have option to create it when you need it, and there are two type of objects. तो दो टाइप के ऑब्जेक्ट्स यहाँ पे बनेंगे, होस्ट एंड सर्विसेज। ओके, तो दो ऑब्जेक्ट्स हम क्रिएट करेंगे अभी फायरवॉल पे, एक होगा होस्ट और सर्विसेज, और हम दोनों यूज करेंगे हमने फायरवॉल रूल्स पे, राइट, एंड द प्रोफाइल, एंड दिस कैन बी फाउंड अंडर सिस्टम। तो आपको ऑब्जेक्ट्स कहाँ पे क्रिएट कर सकते हो, अंडर सिस्टम, सिस्टम में जाना है, नीचे ऑब्जेक्ट्स एंड होस्ट लिखा है, वहाँ पे क्लिक करना है। यू कैन क्लिक ऑन ऐड, अगर होस्ट क्लिक करना है तो वहाँ पे ऐड का ऑप्शन है, वो क्लिक करना है। अगर सर्विस क्रिएट करनी है तो सर्विस के टैब पे क्लिक करना है, एंड देन यू हैव टू क्लिक ऑन ऐड, ऑलराइट। सो विल सी दैट। तो ऑब्जेक्ट्स कैसे क्रिएट करेंगे, ऑलराइट। सो फायरवॉल पे जब आप ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करते हो, होस्ट आईपी क्रिएट करना है। ओके, सो कौन कौन से होस्ट क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, ऑलराइट, लेट्स से आईपी क्रिएट करना है, आईपी से एक होस्ट क्रिएट करना है, या फिर कोई मैक बेस्ड होस्ट क्रिएट करना है, या फिर फुली क्वालिफाइड नेम लाइक netgui.com। ओके, सो वो हमें क्रिएट करना है, सो दैट हम उसको आगे जाके फायरवॉल पे यूज कर सकते हैं, ऑलराइट। सो विल क्रिएट दी होस्ट। ओके, सो फर्स्ट हम स्टार्ट करेंगे आईपी होस्ट से। सो हाउ वी कैन क्रिएट आईपी होस्ट, सो या यस केतन।
सर ये एलडेप इंटीग्रेशन कर सकते हैं इसमें?
1 minute, या
एलडेप इंटीग्रेशन कर सकते हैं?
LDAP इंटीग्रेशन कर सकते हैं, यस कर सकते हैं, फॉर ऑथेंटिकेशन पर्पस, यस दैट इज पॉसिबल।
ऑथेंटिकेशन और इसके लिए भी, होस्ट के लिए भी कर सकते हैं ना, कि नहीं?
रिगार्डिंग आप मुझे डिटेल में बताएंगे कैसे?
जैसे एलडेप, जैसे पॉलिसी के अंदर है,
यस
केतन को खाली यूट्यूब बनाना है और भरत को यूट्यूब नहीं जाना है, तो मेरा एलडेप इंटीग्रेशन के अंदर आईडी रहेगी केतन पी, ठीक है, और उसको खाली यूट्यूब जाना है, तो वो LDAP इंटीग्रेशन से मेरा अकाउंट आएगा और वो होस्ट का आईपी उसमें मिलेगा LDAP DNS रिजोल्यूशंस के आईपी से
कर सकते हैं, यस दैट
कर
इज
सकते हैं।
पॉसिबल। जनरली क्या होता है जब आप एलडेप भी फर्स्ट टाइम इंटीग्रेट करते हो तो आप ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करते हो, राइट? फिर उसको हम इंटीग्रेट करने में भी हम यूज करते हैं, फायरवॉल रूल में हम यूज करते हैं। उसके बाद आप जो यूजर होगा केतन, उसको हम फायरवॉल रूल पे अप्लाई करेंगे। ओके, लेट्स से आप पर्टिकुलर यूजर है या फिर पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप है, कोई भी हो, उसको टिक करना है फायरवॉल रूल पे, उसको सिलेक्ट करना है एंड उसका जो ट्रैफिक है उस यूजर का, वो यूजर का उसी रूल से जो आपने रूल क्रिएट किया होगा उस यूजर के लिए या फिर यूजर ग्रुप के लिए, ट्रैफिक पहले वहां से जाएगा, उस यूजर को हिट करेगा और उसमें आपने जो भी वेब फिल्टर या फिर एप्लीकेशन फिल्टर पॉलिसी अप्लाई किया होगा वो एप्लीकेबल रहेगा।
ओके।
1 मिनट केतन। यस केतन, there.
बराबर, ये आप
Clear?
बताओ, वो ठीक है जी, ठीक है।
Alright, so if that is not working तो आप कैसे चेक कर सकते हैं सबसे पहले कि ये क्यों काम नहीं कर रहा है? अगर लेट से नहीं कर रहा है तो जस्ट वेरीफाई द पैकेट फ्लो, कि ट्रैफिक उसी रूल से जा रहा है जिस रूल से जाना चाहिए जो आपने डिफाइन किया है। ऑलराइट, एंड यू कैन fix it by creating the new one or moving the rules, or might you require the new firewall, अगर आपको शायद नया firewall आपको firewall rule create करना भी हो सकता है। So it depends on your existing configuration and you can, yes of course, you can meet your requirement. Let's say आपने अभी जैसे बताया कि इस यूजर का इसी रूल से ट्रैफिक जाना चाहिए कि ये यूजर है उसको यूट्यूब अलाउड है, इस यूजर को या इस यूजर ग्रुप को अलाउड नहीं है, कर सकते हैं। ओके, now let's begin with the creating the objects. So we have created IP objects. कैसे करेंगे? Let's say London DC है, alright, so we have one AD server है, ठीक है? तो हम AD सर्वर का एक ऑब्जेक्ट बना सकते हैं और इसको हम कहीं पे भी फिर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में यूज कर सकते हैं। तो मेरा AD सर्वर का IP क्या है? 10.172.16.16.10 है, ऑलराइट। सो मैंने जो IP वर्जन है वो सिलेक्ट करना है, whether you are working on, if you are selecting IP, if you are working on IP6, select IP6. Yes, of course, in this course mainly we will be working on IPv4 to understand the network in most simpler way. Those who have specific requirement, उसको हम IP6 हमारा end of this course रखेंगे, all right? So this will be the course objective. We will be completely focusing on IPv4. So हमने IPv4 पे ही एक IP क्रिएट किया है, alright? Yeah. So we have selected the version. टाइप क्या है? IP एड्रेस, यानी मुझे एक जो मैं ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट कर रहा हूँ वो क्या कर रहा हूँ? ऑब्जेक्ट एक पर्टिकुलर IP एड्रेस के लिए कर रहा हूँ। सिमिलरली नेटवर्क के लिए कर सकते हैं, IP रेंज के लिए कर सकते हैं और IP एक लिस्ट भी कर सकते हैं। सो यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट दी ऑप्शन जो हम कर रहे हैं। जैसे IP लिस्ट कर रहे हैं तो IP लिस्ट ही सिलेक्ट करना है। अगर हमने नेटवर्क कर रहे हो और हमने IP यहाँ पे रखा तो दैट will not work. Okay, so it might take, but it will not work because it is IP. So make sure you select network here or the network IP range and IP list. Okay, don't sometime default भी ले लेता है। Okay, so this you can take care of. So IP address डालो उसका, and yes of course if you want to group, जैसे हम host के group बना सकते हैं, हम group बनाएंगे। Alright. Then we have MAC. So IP version host type cannot be changed once it is created. Yes. So एक बार आपने ये object बना लिया तो आप उसको सिर्फ रीनेम नहीं कर सकते। Alright, you cannot change the version. तो क्या कर सकते हैं? You can delete it or you can create another one. Okay, एक बार जो create हो गया उसको आप कुछ changes नहीं कर सकते इसमें host में। So क्या करना है? Either you can create the new one or and delete this one. That would be the option available. Alright. So IP host groups can be used to group IP host objects for IP addresses, networks and IP ranges, but not IP lists. Yes. So अगर group बनाया तो IP list के लिए सिर्फ नहीं बनेगा, but IP range और network के लिए बनेगा. Okay, तो हम टेस्ट भी करेंगे लैब पे कि हाँ ये वर्क करता है कि नहीं करता है। ऑलराइट, सो विल क्रिएट दोस ऑब्जेक्ट, ईच एंड एवरीथिंग वी विल टेस्ट इट सो दैट विल मेक श्योर दैट एवरी फंक्शनलिटी ऑफ द फायरवॉल इज वर्किंग। और अगर आप फ्यूचर में भी कोई डिप्लॉयमेंट कर रहे हो तो आपको पता रहेगा कि what are the limitations, what should things that we should take care of. All right. Okay, so next would be I think Mac host. before that. So IP host object can be represented in a single IP address, subject, a range of IP address, or a list of IP address. Either it can be IPv4 or IPv6. The object can be named and must be configured by IP version, whether it is IPv4 or IPv6, and a type. So type पे ध्यान रखना है where when you are doing the creating the host for the IP addresses. So note that the IP version and the type cannot be modified after the object has been created. You can provide a data for the type of object you have selected. So note that the IP address list are comma separated. You can when you are जब आप IP list बनाते हो, ठीक है, जैसे ये वाला था IP list select किया और यहाँ पे दूसरा एक IP डालना है, कोमा करना है, and you have to put the another IP address and so on. अगर more than 2 IP है, just put the comma and go on. So IP host group can be used in group IP host object for IP addresses, network range, IP address, but not IP list. तो आप ग्रुप सबके बना सकते हो, IP के ग्रुप्स बना सकते हो, नेटवर्क के ग्रुप बना सकते हो. मीन्स आपने लेट्स से एक DC बनाया, DC 1 2 3 ऐसे अलग अलग IP है, तो उसको ग्रुप कर सकते हैं इन शॉर्ट. ऑलराइट, नेटवर्क बनाया है, 2-3 नेटवर्क्स बनाए और आप उसको भी ग्रुप कर सकते हो. सिमिलरली IP रेंज को कर सकते हैं, एक IP लिस्ट को हम नहीं कर पाएंगे यहाँ पे. ऑलराइट, सो यू कैन नॉट डू दैट. You have to find alternate ways from these 3 options available. All right, no worries. This session is a demo one, so we will speak in Hindi. Most of the time we will discuss everything in Hindi. Some of the part would be in English, some of the definitions would be in English, but it would be very easy for you to understand. In case you don't understand, no worries, stop me right there. आप मुझे वहाँ पे रोक दो, वहाँ पे अगर आपको जो समझ में आ रहा है वो definitely I will help to make it more clear. All right. Yeah. So next would be host. अब दूसरा जो होस्ट बना देंगे, मैक बेस होस्ट बनाएंगे. पहले हमने आईपी बेस बनाया था, राइट? सो अभी बनाएंगे मैक बेस. सो यू कैन क्रिएट द नेम. सो यस, ऑफ कोर्स ये जो सेशन होगा, सम ऑफ यू आर ऑलरेडी अवेयर हाउ टू क्रिएट द बेसिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन, सबको आता होगा, राइट? बट वी बिगिन फ्रॉम द स्क्रैच. ओके, कौन सी लिमिटेशन है, कहाँ पे हम क्या कर सकते हैं, कौन कौन से चैलेंजेस आएंगे यहाँ पे. दिस वुड बी जो those who are completely new to the firewall. अगर आपको firewall यहाँ पे सीखना है तो दोनों को हम सिंक में लेके जाएंगे. Yes, of course हम बेसिक से लेके एडवांस तक जाएंगे. So you don't have to worry about the objects then. Okay, आज पढ़ लिया objects, that is fine. फिर आपको तो objects तो सबको क्लियर हो गया. जिसको आता है ऑलरेडी उनको शायद that would be like revision and the add-ons. Okay, so you might have to, we have to, as we are working on the batch, so we have to just work in the team and we will understand each and every part of the firewall parameters. We will configure it and we will go till troubleshoot how fixing the issue. रात को भी अगर हम एक कुछ issue आता है, we will able to fix it within no time, within the SLA time. All right, so we will learn this firewall in that manner. So next is our creating host with the MAC address. Okay, तो MAC address से host बनाएंगे. पहले हमने IP address से बनाया था. Objects बनाएंगे. Let's say objects, वापस में बताता हूँ, objects ये वाले हम यूज करेंगे configurations में जब हम firewall rules बनाएंगे. Let's say अगर मुझे एक सिस्टम को इंटरनेट एक्सेस देना है मैक बेस से, IP से नहीं देना है. ओके, तो मैं ये वाला ऑब्जेक्ट यूज कर सकता हूँ, राइट? सोर्स पे, यानी ये जो ऑब्जेक्ट होगा, लेट्स से दिस इज माय कंप्यूटर, ओके, एंड दिस इज माय मैक एड्रेस और लिस्ट ऑफ मैक एड्रेसेस. तो मैं एक रूल बनाऊंगा, उस वो मैक एड्रेस में अप्लाई करूंगा फायरवॉल रूल पे. ओके, मैं भी लाइव दिखाता हूँ कैसे हम वो देख सकते हैं ऑब्जेक्ट्स. सो विल सी दैट those who are new to the firewall, all right? But this of course again those who know, हम ये object use कर सकते हैं, right? So we can use this object any part of the configuration if we want MAC base. अभी MAC base let's say as a network engineer, okay, so हो सकता है MAC base ना चले, right? क्योंकि maybe you will have L3 device between your system and your firewall. तो MAC base object शायद काम ना करे. okay, क्यों नहीं करेगा? क्योंकि मैक चेंज हो जाएगा वहां पे. सो इन दैट केस यू कैन यूज द आईपी होस्ट. Okay, so this way you can use, let's say अगर simple network है, छोटा सा network है, and if you want to give MAC base, right, then you can give internet access. If you have Wi-Fi router at your home, you will find this option. You can create MAC base rules right there. वहाँ पे आप define करते हो कि इसी MAC को internet मिलना चाहिए, rest it will get dropped. So you can use this feature. Okay, so again, जब ये object create करते हैं, you cannot change after it's been created. आप उसका नाम ये कुछ change नहीं कर सकते. अगर आप MAC एड्रेस तो एक ही एड्रेस डाल सकते हो. अगर आपने MAC लिस्ट सिलेक्ट किया हुआ है, दूसरा वाला ऑप्शन यहाँ पे, तो आप मल्टीपल MAC एड्रेस यहाँ पे डाल के ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट कर सकते हो. Alright, and you can use in the firewall rules. You can while creating MAC list, you can use you can do separation. जब आप separate करोगे MAC एड्रेस को, उसको कोमा डाल के separate करना है. Okay, give the name and that would be done. So mostly in big topologies. Okay, so I think in the small topology use तो कर सकते हैं, but in large environment sometime we have to see in which scenario this object will be mostly used. Okay, we'll see that. Next is the FQDN, but MAC based objects are being created for individual MAC addresses. For MAC address list, the MAC host object can be named and must be configured for specific type, MAC address or MAC address list. This cannot be changed once the object has been saved, and MAC address lists are done with by creating by just putting the commas. Okay, you have to put commas between the MAC address and you will create the MAC address host. Okay, last is the FQDN host. कैसे हम create कर सकते हैं? FQDN fully qualified domain name, let's say google.com or let's say Office 365. Okay, so office365.com जितने भी Office 365 के URLs हैं, ठीक है, तो आप एक उसका FQDN भी बना सकते हैं. ओके, तो FQDN कैसे बनेगा? You have to go to FQDN, firewall पे FQDN का टैब होगा, वहाँ पे क्लिक करना है, क्लिक ऑन ऐड. तो जैसे ही हम ऐड करते हैं, देन यू विल गेट दिस ऑप्शंस. ओके, जो हमने मैक में दिया, वंस यू क्लिक ऑन मैक एड्रेस, मैक होस्ट एंड क्लिक ऑन ऐड ऑन द फर्वॉल रूल, आप ऐड के बटन पे क्लिक करोगे तो आपको मैक एड्रेस का ऐड करने का ऑप्शन मिलेगा और इट विल कम अप लाइक दिस. ओके, वो जो पॉपअप होगा वो ऐसे होगा. ओके, मैक एड्रेस के लिए, आईपी एड्रेस के लिए भी सेम होगा. आपको क्लिक करना है एंड इट विल शो यू दिस template and you have to configure it. Now FQDN, तो FQDN में भी ये भी यूज होगा. लेट्स से हमें कुछ डेस्टिनेशन बेस्ड रूल बनाना है, ठीक है, तो ये वन ऑफ द यूज. ओके, वी विल यूज FQDN यूज इन द firewall rule to, let's say I can bypass Office 365. Okay, so I can create FQDN based rule. Once I click on FQDN host, I can go and click on FQDN add and then I can give name. Okay, तो पहला तो name देंगे. You can give any name, let's say Office 365, और जो FQDN होगा वो मेरा वेबसाइट का URL होगा, वो डालना है मुझे यहाँ पे. ओके, सो FQDN जो सेकेंड ऑप्शन होगा, यहाँ पे मुझे वेबसाइट का URL डालना है. अगर आपको ग्रुप करना है उसको, मीन्स किसी के ग्रुप में डालना है, यू कैन एड इट ऑन द ग्रुप. ओके, सो सपोर्ट, अगर कोई वाइल्ड कार्ड है, supports wildcard suffix to resolve the subdomains. Okay, so it will resolve it. You will see the FQDNs and can be grouped with the FQDN host and host groups. Okay, तो आप ग्रुप भी कर सकते हो, यानी 2-3 ऐसे बनाए हैं, ठीक है, उसको ग्रुप कर सकते हो और उसको फिर हम आगे जाके यूज कर सकते हैं firewall rule पे and so on. We'll see कहाँ पे हम FQDN यूज कर सकते हैं. So let's say one of the example मैंने आपको बताया, जैसे Office 365 है, ठीक है, bypass करना है, let's say. Okay, that is not a good idea, but just to verify our hosts are working. Okay, the objects, the building blocks है, वो कैसे काम करते हैं, अभी तक हमने पढ़ा, right? What are the objects? So objects are the building blocks of building your security policies. So we will use this. Okay, अगर आपने already, जिन लोगों ने already firewall पे काम किया है, they might have used all these features on their firewall. Okay, तो Sophos में भी सब कुछ अवेलेबल है. जब हम कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करते हैं, ये अपना कॉन्फ़िगरेशन जो होता है, लेट्स से वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम कर रहे हैं या फिर करने वाले हैं, तो अगर हमने पहले से ऑब्जेक्ट डिफाइन करके रखे हैं, तो जस्ट यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट व्हाइल डूइंग द कॉन्फ़िगरेशन, तो आपका टाइम वहाँ पे सेव रहेगा. राइट, फ्यूचर में भी आप इसको एडिट और सेव कर सकते हैं और सब जगह पे अपडेट हो जाएगा ऑब्जेक्ट से. So FQDN hosts are used to define fully qualified domain names. So FQDNS host objects can include a wildcard prefix to resolve subdomains. For example, star.sophos.com. So wildcard just hota hai, right? You can use this star like in the star.google.com and so on. The wildcard be support karega. You can use that, and you can help. It will help you to resolve their subdomains, and you can use the FQDN host in the firewall rules. Okay, let's say Office 365. Okay, Outlook.com and so on. So FQDN host groups allows you to create a collection of FQDN host objects to further simplify using objects in the rules and the policies. तो आप rules policy में आप group means जो जितने भी FQDNs बनाए उसका group बना के भी आप firewall rule पे use कर सकते हो और उसकी policy पे भी use कर सकते हो. अभी हमने किया IP, right? Then हमने किया MAC host, then हमने किया FQDN. Now next is service. ओके सो सर्विस रूल कैसे बनेंगे, जैसे कि सबको पता है दी RDP पोर्ट नंबर क्या है 3389. ओके लेट्स से so how we can create those service in firewall rules. Okay, so let's say you have voice server in house, तो आप ये वाला फीचर यूज कर सकते हैं. You can create those objects, service objects जहाँ पे आपका सिप सर्वर यानी वॉइस सर्वर काम कर रहा है. ओके जैसे कोई पोर्ट पे काम कर रहा है, लिस्ट ऑफ आपको let's say voice server administrator है, is providing you the port number आपको provide करेगा. all right, that is working for your SIP communication. Okay, so this is for RDP port. This is the example given. All right, so you can create those ports for the service. Click on service host ports and you can click add and you can select the type. जो सर्विस होगा TCP है या UDP प्रोटोकॉल पे काम कर रहा है, IP है, ICMP है. ओके IPv6 वर्जन है. जो भी प्रोटोकॉल्स पे काम कर रहा है, जो अवेलेबल है 4 अवेलेबल है, TCP, UDP, IP, ICMP एंड ICMP6. ओके सो इन जो भी प्रोटोकॉल्स पे आपको सर्विस पोर्ट क्रिएट करना है, सिलेक्ट दोस. अगर TCP है तो यहाँ पे सिलेक्ट करना है, IP है तो यू कैन सिलेक्ट द पोर्ट नंबर. इफ यू हैव ICMP you can select the type and codes that are available on firewall. Okay, you can configure the options available here. Okay, and you can use it and the firewall rules. So let's say voice server के लिए कर रहे, RDP के लिए कर रहे, let's say secure नहीं है, but let's say we are creating this. So this way you can create the service host and you can use in the rules and policies. फिर आप further आप firewall rule पे कहीं पे भी वो सर्विस यूज कर सकते हैं. ओके तो सर्विस का नाम होगा let's say voice port for example. Okay, the voice server port, voice कुछ भी हो सकता है नाम, but make sure you know the name. नाम से ही पता चल जाएगा इसके अंदर कौन कौन से पोर्ट है. और हम उसको जब माउस रखते हैं तो you will see, अगर आप नाम के ऊपर जब भी अपना माउस होवर करेंगे, then you will see the port number there which are you कौन कौन से पोर्ट आपने डिफाइन किए. So service based on TCP or UDP port that can be service based on IP protocol number. कोई particular protocol number पे जाना है, okay, और ICMP packet और type पे जाना है, we have the options available to configure those service ports. So default ports हैं वो भी अभी मैं बताता हूँ आपको थोड़ी देर में firewall पे. Let's finish up some slides and then we will go ahead. Okay. So service object can be created for TCP, UDP based on protocols, source and destination ports. IP based on the protocol number, ICMP, IPv6 version 6 based on the ICMP type and code. Each service object is for single type and can contain one or more definitions. So you can create groups of service objects. तो यहाँ पे भी हम मल्टीपल सर्विस ऑब्जेक्ट्स क्रिएट कर सकते हैं और उसको भी ग्रुप कर सकते हैं. ओके जैसे कि H232 है, ठीक है, लेट्स से RDP पोर्ट है या फिर SMTP पोर्ट है. ओके जो भी पोर्ट्स जो पोर्ट्स आपके कस्टम पोर्ट्स है, यू कैन डिफाइन दोस कस्टम पोर्ट्स और वो कस्टम पोर्ट आप उसको ग्रुप भी कर सकते हो सिमिलर टू रेस्ट ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट्स. ओके तो फायरवॉल पे जो होस्ट एंड सर्विस जब सिस्टम पे यहाँ पे क्लिक करेंगे, यू विल एंड यू वंस यू क्लिक ऑन होस्ट एंड सर्विसेज यू विल गेट दिस पेज. ओके सो यू विल सी डिफॉल्ट IP होस्ट, थोड़े से ग्रुप्स मिलेंगे. मैक होस्ट शायद नहीं होगा, बट IP होस्ट एंड सर्विसेज यू विल गेट द कंट्री ग्रुप. ये भी एक होस्ट है, राइट? यू कैन क्रिएट कंट्री ग्रुप, दैट इज द नेक्स्ट group object. So यहाँ पे भी आप country wise create कर सकते हो, and you can use in the policies and the rules. तो आप यहाँ पे उसको फिर allow block कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे. Similarly, you can create your own group and you can use it on the configuration. Alright, so जो भी हमें अभी तक discuss किया, everything would be available on the tab navigation. जो आपका IP host है, IP host group, right? हमने पहले क्या किया था, IP host group, IP host बना रहे थे, right? Then multiple IP host बनाए आपने, like IP या फिर network, IP range, IP list, उसको फिर हम ग्रुप भी कर सकते हैं, यानी मल्टीपल बहुत कुछ है, उसको हम अलग अलग ग्रुप्स बना सकते हैं. Then similarly MAC host था, right? So again we can create the MAC host and group it. Similarly FQDN host group, services, service group. Okay, MAC host group नहीं बनेगा, okay, इसका group नहीं, but you can create a MAC list बना दो, okay, that it will include it in this. Service में भी ऐसा ही है, but still we have option service group. But if you have multiple service to be added, आपको multiple ports add करने, you have to click on plus sign. Yeah, you have to click on plus sign here. तो जो AD सर्वर है आपका, let's say RDP सर्वर, आपने एक सर्विस बनाया, click on plus sign here. Okay, तो होगा आप उस पे UDP भी डाल सकते हो, again TCP डाल सकते हो, and so on. And you can add your source port and destination port. Okay, so ये RDP port हो गया 3389. Source port आपका ये by default you can put star, or you can put old ports like 1:65535. Okay, or you can put this one. किस कहते हैं
सर ये कंट्री ग्रुप में आईपी एड्रेस है ना सब कंट्री का?
Yes, in country group, yes.
और इट इज अपडेटेड ऑटोमेटिकली?
Yes,
रियल टाइम अपडेटिंग?
yes, it is real time updated. Yes, geographical
good.
आपका means आपको कोई फ्यूचर में अगर आपको कंट्री वाइज ब्लॉकिंग करना है, you can use this object जो हम फाइल पे यूज करेंगे आगे जाके. Yes, तो ऐसा रिक्वायरमेंट होता है कि कंट्री ब्लॉक करना है, इसको ये कंट्री से ट्रैफिक नहीं आना चाहिए, लेट्स से चाइना, और currently it is China, Russia. Okay, so you can block the traffic from those countries or group of countries where you don't want to allow, जहाँ से आपको allowed नहीं करना है.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, you don't have to worry about the geographical IP address here. So Sophos Firewall maintains a geo IP database. Yes, that's maps with IP address to your to the countries. This is automatically updated with the pattern definition. So we'll see the pattern updates and the firewall. जो firewall पे pattern जो डेफिनेशन है ऑटोमेटिक अपडेट होता है, जो हमारी आईपीएस की सिग्नेचर्स होती है, फिर जितनी भी एप्लीकेशन सिग्नेचर्स होती है, ऑलराइट, जितनी भी डेटाबेस होगा वो ऑटोमेटिक अपडेट होता है. लेट्स से आपने कोई वेबसाइट देखना है कौन सी कैटेगरी में फॉल होता है, ओके, लेट्स से sophos.com या फिर कोई गेमिंग वेबसाइट है, उसका वेबसाइट का यूआरएल है, सो वी हैव टू चेक ऑन विच category the website is falling. So all this is done under pattern update. So we'll see that session. Antivirus update ho gaya, okay. You will get regular pattern updates from the pattern updates definition from the firewall, automatic yahan pe rahega. Okay, so we'll see that in the next slides. Yes, so there are several predefined company groups that are shipped with Sophos Firewall. So you can edit it, you can use it on your custom groups and policies, and you can take the action accordingly here. All right, now next is creating profiles. All right, so हम यहाँ पे और भी profiles create करेंगे. Objects, see, these are also, you can consider these objects. So we will see what are the schedule. But let me just move to the firewall and see what we have done till now. Okay, so let me share the screen, the another one, and then we'll come back to the profile session. Okay. All right, so let me just go through the firewall. So here we have head office, we have branch office, we have one MPLS connection, but we don't have to worry about now. We will work on this lab. But let's, whatever we have discussed, let's go through that. If you can see on the GUI. Okay, just let's log in first. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, so here is the lab. Okay, ऑब्जेक्ट्स देखते हैं जो मैंने अभी डिस्कस किया, राइट? 2-3 ऑब्जेक्ट्स क्रिएट करके देखते हैं. नाउ जो लैब होगा हमारा, राइट, जैसे मैंने बताया, लेट्स से बिगिन विद द CLI. ओके, तो CLI हमारा होगा कंसोल. तो जो हमारा टोपोलॉजी है, ऑलराइट, सो जब भी हम डिवाइसेस पे क्लिक करते हैं, वी विल गेट द कंसोल एक्सेस डायरेक्टली. ऑलराइट, दोज हु आर कंप्लीटली न्यू, ऑलराइट, जिन्होंने अभी तक, मींस if you have done CCNA or CCNP, then it is fine. Those who have not done, then it would be not difficult, but yes, of course you will learn it. Okay, so we have to get sync. Some will किसी को already पता होगा, किसी को नहीं पता होगा. All right, so just let's discuss it. All right, so on the lab, once you click on firewall, okay, मैंने firewall पे click किया तो you will get, आपको direct console access आ जाएगा. All right, so this is the console access you can see.
Hello,
Okay,
hello,
in real life scenarios.
hello, hello.
Yes.
सर सॉरी फॉर डिस्टर्ब यू, लेकिन सर इसमें मैनेजमेंट आईपी जो है उसमें मैनेजमेंट आईपी कैसे देते हैं? मतलब बाय डिफॉल्ट वो मैनेजमेंट आईपी उसमें पहले से दिया होता है या फिर हमें मैन्युअली देना पड़ता है?
आपको मैनुअली देना पड़ेगा, रितेश.
तो सर मैन्युअली कैसे देते हैं?
जनरली Sophos, या सॉरी, या रितेश.
सर मैन्युअली आईपी इसको कैसे देंगे?
Okay, I think you have joined this batch very first time, right, Ritesh?
यस यस.
Okay, देखो मैनुअली आप अगर देना है तो कैसे दे सकते हैं, मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. लेट्स से अभी हम वर्चुअल में जाते हैं. ओके, सो वी विल सी विद द वर्चुअल. सो बिफोर आई आंसर टू योर क्वेश्चन, जस्ट गिव मी अ मोमेंट. Yeah, so we'll change that IP where you can change the IP, the management IP there. So सबसे पहले तो आपको कंसोल एक्सेस लेना है. तो जैसे कि हमारा ये सॉफ्टवेयर बेस है, once you click you will get the console access. तो ये आपका कंसोल एक्सेस होगा. अगर आपके पास फिजिकल फायरवॉल है, ठीक है, हार्डवेयर डिवाइसेस है, then you have to arrange the console cable, you have to get the console of your firewall. ओके, आपको IP कैसे चेंज करेंगे? ओके, सो अगर वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम है तो एडमिन पासवर्ड यूज होगा. ऑलराइट, एंड लेट्स से आपको पासवर्ड ही नहीं पता है, मुझे पासवर्ड नहीं पता है, तो मैं यहाँ पे जो पासवर्ड है, यू कैन सी द पासवर्ड, तो मैं यहाँ पे कैपिटल में रीसेट लिखूंगा. ओके, विच यू विल नॉट एबल टू सी. ओके, इवन नो आई विल नॉट एबल टू सी. सो जस्ट सिंपली टाइप RESET reset and press enter. So let me start from scratch and show you first that you don't know the password. So type RESET reset. Once you type reset, okay, I have typed, I don't know, I don't know the password. Okay, someone handle me the firewall, किसी ने मुझे firewall दी है, but I don't know, or he doesn't know the password. So मैंने यहाँ पे password reset करने के लिए reset किया, तो मैंने लिखा यहाँ पे RESET reset. Once I click, I will get this information. Okay, पासवर्ड रीसेट से स्टार्ट करते हो. ओके, थोड़ा सा समझने के लिए. और अदरवाइज जैसे ये सेशन खत्म हो जाता है तो थोड़े से वीडियोस ऑलरेडी अपलोडेड है, आप उसको भी एक बार देख लेना. तो आपको मैंने जो इनिशियल सेटअप किया है फायरवॉल का, वो आपको स्टेप्स मिल जाएंगे. और हम लैब पे भी, नो वरीज, मैं आपके सारे क्वेश्चंस रिजॉल्व करूंगा.
ओके सर, ओके.
पासवर्ड नहीं पता है, अगेन यस, टाइप RESET reset. And you will see some information. Please read carefully before proceeding. Okay, so you will able to reset the firewall to factory default. तो आपको अगर firewall को factory reset भी करना है तो आप ये वाला reset use कर सकते हो. But मैं यहाँ पे option number 4, okay, can you see menu and option number 4, reset password for admin user. तो मैं यहाँ पे option 4 use करूँगा. Okay, and it will ask me to just reset the password. Okay, let me just reset the password. So it will ask me, do you want to reset the administrator password? अगर आपका let's say firewall चल रहा है प्रोडक्शन में, ओके, और आपने ये पासवर्ड रिसेट किया तो कुछ भी इम्पैक्ट नहीं होगा. ऑलराइट, बट आपने ऑप्शन नंबर 3 सिलेक्ट किया तो सारी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन रिसेट हो जाएगी, सारे सिग्नेचर रिसेट हो जाएंगे, रिपोर्ट सारे आपके चले जाएंगे. ओके, एंड इट विल कम टू द फैक्ट्री डिफॉल्ट. और उसका जो डिफॉल्ट IP होता है वो 172.16.16.16 रहता है. ओके, फायरवॉल का. तो आप उस नेटवर्क, उसको आप गेटवे IP दे सकते हो अपने PC पे, और कोई भी IP कॉन्फ़िगर कर दो 172.16.16.100 255.255.255.0, और गेटवे डिफॉल्ट जो हो जाता है वो होता है 172.16.16.16. तो आपको फायरवॉल का एक्सेस आ जाएगा. दैट मींस योर you will get the GUI access, the web admin, okay, through that management, okay. डिवाइस के ऊपर, मॉडल्स के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है, मैनेजमेंट पोर्ट डेडिकेटेड भी होते हैं हायर एंड डिवाइस के लिए, सो डिपेंड ऑन द मॉडल नंबर। तो एक कोई पर्टिकुलर मैनेजमेंट पोर्ट यहाँ पे हम डिस्कस नहीं होगा, क्योंकि जनरली हम फायरवॉल का एक्सेस आ जाएगा, बट हायर एंड डिवाइस के मॉडल्स जब हम डिस्कस करेंगे तब हम देखेंगे कौन सा मैनेजमेंट पोर्ट डेडिकेटेड है वहाँ पे, कौन से मॉडल्स पे अवेलेबल है, कौन से मॉडल्स पे HM अवेलेबल है, और कैसे भी करके हम फायरवॉल का एक्सेस ले लेंगे, ऑलराइट, विदाउट एनी इश्यू। सो नाउ कमिंग टू योर पॉइंट, लेट्स से पासवर्ड भी नहीं पता है, सो आई एम रिसेटिंग द पासवर्ड विद ऑप्शन नंबर 4 हियर, ओके। फिर हम 3-2 डिस्कस करेंगे, सिर्फ हमें थोड़ा सा कुछ जो भी रिसेट करना है, देन यू कैन सिलेक्ट यस आई वांट टू रिसेट द पासवर्ड रिसेट सक्सेसफुली। जब भी आप पासवर्ड रिसेट ये फोर्थ ऑप्शन से करोगे तो अभी आपका यूजर नेम और पासवर्ड क्या हो जाएगा, डिफॉल्ट हो जाएगा, और डिफॉल्ट क्या है, एडमिन। तो मैं पासवर्ड लिखता हूँ एडमिन, ओके। तो मैं एडमिन से लॉगिन हो गया यहाँ पे, ओके। नाउ यू कैन सी दी ऑप्शंस, राइट। अभी क्या दिख रहा है आपको, जैसे आपने कंसोल का एक्सेस आ गया, राइट। ये तो आपको इतना ये आ जाएगा कि कंसोल एक्सेस कैसे लेना है। You will get the details, you will read those details like what is the current firmware version running, the model number, अगर हार्डवेयर है तो XGS जो भी XGS सीरीज का जो नंबर होगा वो यहाँ पे डिस्प्ले होगा। हमारा फायरवॉल वर्चुअल है, VMware में है ये सफोस, तो VMware में आपका ये जो मॉडल नंबर है वो डिस्प्ले होगा। होस्ट नेम, ओके। सो कौन कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म में कर सकते हैं, आपके लैपटॉप पे कैसे इंस्टॉल करना है टेस्ट कर सकते हो आप, वो में भी आपको अलग से हम सेशन करेंगे, नो वरीज। लैपटॉप पे कैसे करना है, हाइपरवाइजर पे कैसे करना है, कोई भी वर्चुअल जो AWS में, एज्योर में कैसे, या फिर कोई न्यूटेनिक सर्वर है इंटेल के कंपेटेबल जो डिवाइस हार्डवेयर है उस पर हम कैसे सोफोस इंस्टॉल कर सकते हैं, वो भी हम जो हमारा नेक्स्ट मॉड्यूल है उसके ऊपर उसके ऊपर भी डिस्कस करेंगे, ऑलराइट। सो आई एम जस्ट वॉकिंग थ्रू सम ऑफ द पार्ट ऑफ द मॉड्यूल्स, द फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल्स। आज हम जो कर रहे हैं वो पहला मॉड्यूल है, तो दूसरे मॉड्यूल में भी हार्डवेयर के ऊपर भी बहुत सारी डिस्कशंस होगी, जो है हमारा मॉडल्स, टाइप ऑफ मॉडल्स अवेलेबल, ओके। सो जो IP है, ठीक है, मैनेज कैसे करेंगे, ओके। सो यू विल गेट दैट ऑप्शन अंडर नेटवर्क कॉन्फ़िगरेशन, तो आपको फर्स्ट ऑप्शन सिलेक्ट करना है 1, ओके। इससे पहले मैंने आपको जो प्रीवियस स्लाइड थी उसमें सिस्टम कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में सिक्योर स्टोरेज हार्डवेयर कैसे, सिक्योर स्टोरेज जो मास्टर की है, ठीक है, वो कैसे रिसेट करना है, वो किस लिए काम आता है, जब आप अपना बैकअप लेते हो या बैकअप आप रिस्टोर करते हो, ऑलराइट, यू हैव टू प्रोवाइड दैट पासवर्ड सो दैट वो सिक्योर रहे, आपका जो बैकअप है कोई और यूज ना कर सकते, और या फिर सिक्योरली कोई आप उसको ट्रांसफर कर सकते हो, उसके लिए सिक्योर स्टोरेज मास्टर की ऑप्शन हमें सेट करना पड़ता है, वो जो सोफोस में अवेलेबल है वो हमें मैंडेटरी फॉलो करना है। नाउ कमिंग टू द अगेन मैनेजमेंट, हमें देखना है मुझे IP एड्रेस क्या है इस फायरवॉल का, मुझे नहीं पता है, ठीक है। सो कंसोल एक्सेस लिया, ओके, पासवर्ड नहीं पता था, रिसेट किया, पता है तो मैंने लॉग इन किया, एंड देन ऑप्शन नंबर 1 फर्स्ट ऑप्शन पे जाते हैं, सो आई विल सिलेक्ट ऑप्शन 1,
सर ये सिक्योरिटी हॉल सिक्योरिटी रिस्क है ना ये तो।
interface configuration, DNS and exit. Obviously you have to select the first option, network configuration. Now you will see the network settings, okay, जो आपका network setting होगा आपको पता चलेगा। अभी यहाँ पे पता चल रहा है पोर्ट A पे 172.16.16.16 है, राइट। तो क्या कर सकते हो, वो LAN पोर्ट है यहाँ पे, तो क्या करो, लैपटॉप कनेक्ट करो पोर्ट A पे, ओके, एंड कॉन्फ़िगर 172.16.16 गेटवे IP कॉन्फ़िगर करो, सबनेट मास्क कॉन्फ़िगर करो, एंड कॉन्फ़िगर एनी ऑफ द IP from this range and try to access the firewall, okay। तो आपको firewall का access आ गया, and then you can start doing your configuration। अगर आप और डिटेल्स करोगे, यस, आपको दिखेगा पोर्ट B आपने WAN कॉन्फ़िगर किया है, ओके। You are getting internet connection from this 1.1, ये कोई अपस्ट्रीम का जो राउटर है, राइट, अपस्ट्रीम राउटर है उसके में से आ रहा है, राइट, ओके। सो यू हैव सी यस कैप्टन, टेल मी।
सर ये कंसोल एक्सेस तो सिक्योरिटी रिस्क हो गई ना, किसके भी, और मेरा जूनियर इंजीनियर है वो जाके कंसोल लगा के ये रिसेट कमांड मार देगा, और थर्ड ऑप्शन सिलेक्ट कर दिया तो सब कुछ कॉन्फ़िगरेशन सब चला जाएगा, तो कंसोल का कुछ प्रोटेक्टेड नहीं है, कुछ प्रोटेक्शन नहीं कर सकते।
तो पासवर्ड वुड बी मोस्ट प्रोटेक्टेड वन, बेटर जो कंसोल है, ठीक है, वो आप ही एक्सेस करो, राइट। डोंट गिव एक्सेस टू दोज इंजन व्हिच इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड। तो हमें ना क्या करेंगे, जो ये वाला जो है, ठीक है, वो तो आपके पास ही पासवर्ड रहेगा, पर जो हमारे आपके जो जूनियर इंजीनियर्स है, राइट, उनको अलग से एडमिन यूजर पैम्पलेट क्रिएट करेंगे कि उनको क्या एक्सेस होगा।
लेकिन
तो
अभी जूनियर इंजीनियर को भी मालूम गिर गया कि रिसेट से भी अपन फॉर्मेट कर सकते हैं पूरा। अभी आप स्टडी
इसके लिए ये सपोज दूसरे जो कंसोल के जो टूल्स आते हैं वो आप यूज कर सकते हो फॉर ए सिक्योर कनेक्शन। जैसे कि प्रीमाइसेस पे ऑफ कोर्स वहाँ पे भी सिक्योरिटी होगी, राइट। ऐसे ही नहीं कि कोई भी इंजीनियर वहाँ पे विदाउट परमिशन दे विल डू any of the activities, right? In your server lab you might have cameras, you might have to take permissions, and there are many other softwares के कोई particular जो डिवाइस है उसका एक्सेस लेने के लिए भी परमिशन होगा। Yes, of course, आपका जो क्वेश्चन है that would be genuine, but you might look into some other solutions that will help to protect the access to the device। ऐसा नहीं कि Sophos Firewall, कोई भी फायरवॉल का अगर उस इंजीनियर को जैसे लेट्स से स्विचेस, ओके, सो ही कैन टेक
हाँ,
दिस।
लेकिन स्विच में भी कंसोल लगाने के टाइम पे पासवर्ड तो पूछता है, लेकिन जो बाय डिफॉल्ट पासवर्ड जो रहता है, जैसे आपने बताया सोपोस के अंदर रिसेट एज अ डिफॉल्टिंग एवरीथिंग, बट सिस्को के अंदर ऐसा नहीं है। सिस्को के अंदर कंसोल यूजर नेम एंड पासवर्ड रहेगा, कंसोल में भी पासवर्ड पूछेगा, तो डिफॉल्ट कॉन्फ़िगरेशन नहीं कर सकता है। There is no way we can stop this reset command from itself on the firewall.
The way you want, that is not possible.
Not possible. Okay.
Yeah, maybe we have look into some other options available. जैसे कि आपके मल्टीपल डिवाइस होंगे, फायरवॉल्स होंगे, लोड बैलेंसर होगा या फिर स्विचेस भी होंगे, तो उसका ही अलग से एक कनेक्शन तो ऑलरेडी एक अपने कंसोल का जो हमारा जो जितने भी वेंडर है वहाँ कोई होगा जहाँ से कंसोल ही हम सारे डिवाइस का ले सकते हैं, तो ऑलरेडी जो पोर्ट होगा वो डेडिकेटेड होगा। Now the thing is that about the physical permissions, ये physically ही होगा, otherwise it is not possible.
Okay. Physical security is very important for that.
Yes,
Okay.
physical security is also important along with this policy. So that way we can secure it. Yes, of course. Generally, as I know, you cannot directly access the console access without permission. We should know at what purpose we need the console access of any of the security devices. So that premises might be already secure. Your L2, L1 engineer might not have access to that level of physical access.
क्योंकि ये जो ऑप्शन है जो है ये खाली यही फायरवॉल के अंदर है, पालो अल्टो में भी नहीं है सर, फोर्टिनेट में भी नहीं है ये ऑप्शन ऐसा जैसे रिसेट करने का।
Okay, let me just check it and re-verify if I get something new, and I can discuss that on similar matter.
No problem, sir. No problem.
Sure. So next would be like I can also see port C WAN, and this is my MPLS link here. Okay, so I can see those details. So I think Ritesh doubt till now might be clear.
Done, sir. Done, sir. Clear, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. नो वरीज, जैसे जैसे हमारे मॉड्यूल्स हम क्लियर करते जाएंगे ना, आपके सारे डाउट्स भी वैसे ही क्लियर होते जाएंगे। अभी बहुत सारे डाउट्स आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड यू माइट हैव, जैसे जैसे मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ वैसे यू माइट बी गेटिंग मोर डाउट्स और भी ज्यादा क्रिएट होंगे। बट एज वी कंप्लीटेड, जैसे मॉड्यूल कंप्लीट भी हो जाएगा ना 12 के 12, देन यू विल कंप्लीटली नो अबाउट द फायरवॉल। Whenever you might have issue, even though you have deployed and it is working fine, अच्छे से चल रहा है, and in future you face any type of issue, we'll able to fix it with the Sophos Firewall. All right, so any challenges we will discuss. Yes, of course, thanks Ketan for sharing your feedback. I will definitely let me see what we can do on this as well. Okay, so next this is the console access. Or let me just go to the PC now. So what I did, I connected this PC. I hope my screen is shared. Yeah. So what I did, I simply, as of now, I don't have any switch or layer 3 switch or any switch between my firewall and the PC. So I have connected my PC directly on my firewall on port A. Okay, directly connect here. Okay, let's say I have new configuration to set up. So I have connected and port. Now I know the firewall works on the default IP, that is 172.16.16.16. नहीं पता है तो यहाँ पे एक और एक कंसोल केबल लगा के पीसी पे कनेक्ट करके टर्मिनल लेना है, ऑलराइट, एंड यू विल गेट द कंसोल एक्सेस एंड यू कैन वेरीफाई कौन से नेटवर्क कहाँ पे क्या कॉन्फ़िगर है, ऑलराइट. सो लेट मी जस्ट गो बैक एंड सिलेक्ट ऑप्शन नंबर 1, इंटरफेस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन, एंड आई नो now port A is my LAN, so I can just connect one PC and configure the IP addresses respectively, 172.60, whatever the IP it is here, we can have the access. Yes, Captain.
Sorry, I'm asking a lot of
Yes.
questions, sir.
No, please continue. You can
Yeah,
ask me
because
as many as can. We will definitely will work on that.
okay,
Yes.
when you want to access this management, this 172.16.16.16 and colon 444, okay, we can change that port, the 444. Because
Yes.
suppose
Yeah, we can change.
hacker knows that the Sophos Firewall want to access this port, because most of them knows that also. So we can change that port, right? We can put different port also. 44. We don't want to put 444. We want to put something else. We can do
Yes.
that, right? Right?
We can do that. Right now, what we are doing, Ketan, is that we are working on default configuration. If in future, if you want to change network, port number, everything is possible on the firewall. Yes.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
If you are accessing, let's say, you are already working, if you are aware about the user portal on the Sophos Firewall, it works on 443. If you want to change,
Yes.
you can change it. The GUI works
Yes.
on default. Currently, I'm just guiding everything on the default settings of the firewall where you don't have to worry.
Okay.
So let's say as your requirement, if you want to change the port, yes, of course, you can change the port.
Okay, sir.
We will change right away. Just take the next question.
No problem. No problem.
Okay, so we will have to end up this session in next 8 minutes. So guys, you can ask me as many as doubt you have right now. Meanwhile, let me clear Ketan's doubt where we can see that. Okay, so anyone has any doubt till now here? It's because this session would be finishing, we will finish after 8 minutes. All right. Okay, so I have the access of the firewall right now. Okay, let's continue, guys. Let's continue then tomorrow. All right, we are dropping the call for a day.
Problem, sir. No problem.
Okay, sorry. Just let me show it, Ketan. Just give me a minute. We will finish this last question. Meanwhile, anyone in the batch has any doubt till now? Okay, you will get the notes for this. I'm so sorry. It's already taking, right? Okay. I think I reset the password. So now it is admin. We have to change the password, right? So we reset the password from console. Okay, so it will give you this page to reset the password. So current password is admin, and I will set new password. Okay, let me log in. Okay, I'm not putting the right password. Let me try it again. Okay, I will try again. Sorry, guys. Okay, it took, I think, yeah. Okay, fine. Save it as of now. So yes, let's see the default port number settings on the firewall. And then if no one has any doubts, after 4 or 2 minutes, we will drop the session. All right. So you can go to system administration. Okay, each module will have all the, it will clear all the doubt, but let's see, we can change where we can change the ports. So you can go to system. So we'll also see in case by mistake some other port has defined and it not took, or we forgot the port on which works. So how we can change that, we will fix that also in advanced troubleshooting steps. So here you can go to system administration, admin and user settings. So you will see admin console and end user interaction. So you can change the GUI port that is available and user port that is available, right? This way you can change the ports. All right, so we will continue tomorrow. We will take SSH. We have GUI, we have SSH, we have console. As a best engineer, we should have access to all the services, okay? Even though console and the GUI and SSH, yes, of course. All right, and we'll continue tomorrow from now. Anyone, any doubt?
हेलो सर.
Yes,
सर
Ritesh.
सर ये इसका मतलब वीडियो का मुझे लिंक मिल सकता है सर?
हाँ, मैं भेज देता हूँ आपको.
ठीक है सर.
आप YouTube पे सर्च करोगे तो let me show you if I can. Okay, I'm sending you that link. Just give a minute. Click this and you can join this channel. All right. Ritesh, can you see?
Okay sir, okay.
Okay, just follow this. You will get all my recorded session till now and you will get more. Okay, so I'm just sending you on the chat.
Okay sir.
Okay, so you will get more idea, but Hindi में भी होगा, don't worry, for your query.
Okay.
जितना डिस्कशन हम हिंदी में ही करेंगे, कॉन्फ़िगरेशन भी हिंदी में ही करेंगे, लॉग्स भी हिंदी में वेरीफाई करेंगे, बट जो थोड़ी सी जो डेफिनेशंस होंगी थोड़ा सा.
Don't worry sir, no issue sir.
Yes.
Not an issue.
I will be not using the native English language, so it will be very simple one. No worries, you will understand. If I.
Okay sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's stop the session for today. We will see you tomorrow, guys. Then tomorrow we will continue the module. We will continue from here. Okay.